Dun, 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 dun. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to show number 233, live and here in the house. Big Matt and Diamond Dean bringing you Locker Room Sports.
233.
233. Moving on up. It's like the Jefferson said, moving right on up. How's everybody doing today? Jeff Anderson, number one guy. See him on here tootling around a little bit. What is up, Jeff?
Our goal is to catch Gunsmoke. 630.
We'll be there before you know it. Since Rogers got his trophy, since Reggie got his trophy returned, we want our 2012 victory returned. That is a good. I like that, and I wanted to talk about that.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jeff. I'd like me and Dean's going to kick that one around. Today, of course, we're going to break into some local stuff. Locally, Surround County at Collinsville boys went out, had a good run there, baseball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hadn't seen anything on Piedmont, so if y'all know some stuff on, I usually catch stuff off their page, and I don't know.
I haven't seen anything either.
Because I follow their page and stuff, and I usually catch their stuff, but I have not seen anything.
I don't want to talk bad about a paper, but our Gas and Times don't cover stuff like they used to.
So if anybody knows, please feel welcome to share. What's up, Molly?
But I think they probably are. I know they've had a great year.
Yeah. Now, softball-wise, the girls over here, Turkey County beat Asheville. I know 1-0. Then they went losing to Aniana 3-1. They're going to play tomorrow at 3. So if y'all around here in the area tomorrow, area championship stuff, go over there tomorrow and go see the girls play a little bit. I may ride up because Tuesday I'm gonna be busy Tuesday evening. My birthday's Tuesday. I'll go have dinner.
Oh yeah, happy birthday!
Yeah, appreciate it.
I remember 30th. Yeah.
So then
you snuck up on me.
Man, I know. Snuck up on me too. I'll be
47.
Sheesh. But same day, Tuesday, Spring Garden took care of Faith Christian, and Cedar Bluff takes care of Jacksonville Christian. Takes care of business over there. I did go visit with Spring Garden girls, and Maggie Reedy, her being the only senior, really enjoy her mom and dad. They're just good people.
Yeah, yeah. Macy, older sister.
Bailey, and I got to talk to him for a while. Me and him got to shoot the breeze for a while, and I always like to see him. He's such a smart young guy.
Oh,
and he's
Bailey, her sister, brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got such big dream and aspirations, and he's got plans. And I love hearing these young guys that I watch grow up have a plan, and they're working on it. It's got a beautiful little girl and just a pretty family. And so I got to go over and share a little bit of time with them, take some pictures and stuff. So that's kind of area softball.
I don't think Bailey's just in it to see how it goes. I think he's in it for the.
No, he's
in it for the long haul, huh?
He is his mother and father's child.
Yeah.
He's a great mixture of both.
I'll be shocked if in 2 years he's in administration and no longer coaching.
No, he is that guy. He loves it. And seen Winston at McDonald's the other day.
Yeah, Winston Smith.
Oh, Johnny Rocket, man. He is a character. He's another guy. I've petitioned that Ernie Willingham needs a camera to follow him all day. His memes would be great. Winston Smith would be another. Winston, and he watches, and I hope he's getting to watch now, him, Miss Carolyn.
Oh, Ernie's funny, isn't he?
Yes, and Winston, he's that kind of guy. Somebody needs to follow him around with camera.
Pretty funny, huh?
Man, he's just the stories and stuff, and the oldest grandson, Steve's boy.
Sloan.
Yeah,
is it Sloan?
He's wanting to get into. We're talking about young guys coaching around here. The sons of coaches. So James's boy.
It may not be. I know he had a couple of boys. I don't.
No idea what just happened there. So just kind of working through some of that and some local guys, and they want to be coaches like their dad, and and Jacob Burleson, he is going to get into. I don't know if we've mentioned that. He's going to go to Jacksonville and finish his degree. He started a little bit up there at Berry, so he's going to go in Jacksonville. And I think he said maybe a history major. I tried to.
No, he'll keep a job there. I mean, more than likely, he'll get one.
Yeah, I always encourage young guys, if y'all are watching, Todd can tell you better than me. go out from this county when you get your degree. Don't.
Yeah.
I think that's the better advice. Go work in Georgia for 5 years, and to where people don't know you, and you're not maybe given a little bit of a pass because of you know, your reputation. Go somewhere it's tough and learn yourself and build your own style of coaching, and then try to come back home.
Maybe come back.
Yeah. But I'm excited for Sloan and Bailey and Jacob and any of the young guys out there, or girls, that want to get out here and dedicate their time and their lives to. And I got to see Miss Ann. She's such a incredible, important part to softball in this county. If people don't know, you need to know. She pretty much brought fast pitch to Cedar Bluff. I know.
Oh yeah, they didn't start till about 03 or 04, was it? I thought somebody told me 03 or 02.
Because Luke was, I think he's like born in 04. I think he's a year behind Marcus. So yeah, right in that time. So she's such a crucial part, and it's always good to see her. We always appreciate her. So good luck to the girls around here.
Speaking of softball, I saw some of your kinfolk today, and I thought slow pitch men's softball had died out, but Devin said he'd been playing softball.
Yeah.
He had some places on him. Apparently, he'd gotten hit with something. And,
sliding and
said he played in Birmingham. They played in Birmingham.
They play on a team. And Brian Richardson and some of that group, some of those same guys, they play around here and stuff.
That's good. I mean, that used to be huge.
Yes, Jeff. Birthdays do tend to once you get over 30. I
don't care nothing about them. Do you?
I don't know. It's just it's a day to sit maybe with some family and have a meal and reminisce a little.
That's the best thing about it. She probably gonna get to eat.
Yeah.
We had a good time down at Western Sizzling that time.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, and it was good.
Yeah,
I know people have talked before that place is not that good. Well, it was that night.
Yeah, because I cut into the steak a little bit, and everything was good. And it's good just to take it easy a day. You can have one day of you don't have so much to do.
Right.
So everybody, I hope y'all enjoyed the weather, man. It's been beautiful, cool in the mornings a little bit, nice, warm in the evening. It's been kind of a little warm today.
Yeah, but it's not been too hot yet. It's not been ridiculous like where you're going, good gosh.
Yeah, I was pulling out of Walmart went to Sunday school and went to the gym and then went put up some bread and stuff for a while. And I come out of Walmart probably about 2. And it's pretty warm. Because I don't have air on those. I drive a Silverado truck, guys, old square body Chevrolet. And I've just never turned the air on. I just ride with the windows down. It was at the red light. It was a little warm. But I had been working and moving, and I was kind of hot anyway. So.
What do you think about the 2 mornings in the 30s this week?
Yeah, I'm just kind of over that, man. I had put my sweatpants up, and I have to be up usually.
Yeah, 2.
I have to usually be up by 5 or so. Before 5 in the morning. It's cool at that time in the morning.
Heck, one of them was about 35, wasn't it? 37, 37.
I had to get a big jacket and put on. I'm just.
I know, and then you're just dying by 11 because it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody's having a great day. We're going to talk about NFL draft stuff, who won, we think, in the draft, and who may be some losers in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Also, ESPN's new deal to keep college football alive. And NBA playoffs, there was somebody that
Lakers survived, didn't get swept.
Well, yeah, there's a record-breaking performance by a young man. We'll talk about that too. So first off, I guess, topic of the day, Reggie Bush getting his Heisman Trophy back.
Right.
1,700-yard rushing his Heisman year.
1,700, had a bunch receiving.
Average about 8 yards a play. He had about 50 catches for 350 yards or so.
Yeah, and he had well over 2,000. And then he had to return on top.
Yep. So what's the take on what? I can tell you my opinion on it from the day it happened.
Well, they took it from him because he supposedly received some funds, right?
Well, his mother got a house. I mean, all this stuff is public knowledge now. His mom wound up getting a house closer to the stadium there at SC, to watch her son play. And supposedly in those times, the story was then, because I followed it, they were making some T-shirts there. Somebody around the area had a screen printing machine, and they made shirts, USC, Reggie Bush, whatever, and they sold them and made some money and give it to him. Okay.
Which is against the rules, but should that take his Heisman Trophy?
No. Why? Yeah. What does that got to do with?
Well, he did still do the stuff he did on the field.
They forfeited the games. I mean, they're not recognized in the book, be champs. And now Auburn, is some of their fans are coming out saying, well, if they're not, hey, come on.
Well, no, Oklahoma played for it.
Right.
And Auburn would have a case there, but
I don't think they'd have won the game, but I would like to see the game.
I would have too. I think Auburn was better than Oklahoma. I don't know that they were better than
I don't think so.
USC, but of course Texas beat USC the next year. That was
Vince Young was a close runner up behind. Yes. Reggie had like 1,700 points in that Heisman vote, and Vince had like 1,100. It was kind of close, sort of. Then, of course, Liner was one, and then the boy from Notre Dame, the quarterback out there,
Quinn.
Yeah, he was the fourth place. He was
so Young was second. I always wondered why Young didn't win it. Maybe that's it because of Bush.
Yeah, fairly close second place.
I think I read somewhere where Bush had close to 2,500 all purpose.
All purpose, yeah, that's about right. 2,400. So
his last year.
Are you PO'd about this? This is ridiculous. He broke the rules. Why does he get his trophy? Are you in that camp? Or?
Well, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be some type of punishment, but taking his Heisman Trophy from him, I don't really agree with that. I don't know how you can take an accolade from somebody.
Yeah, I never understood he did what he did live on the field.
Yeah. And, if they proved that, hey, this guy was juicing big time and taking supplements to make him better, maybe then, but no, not for taking cash.
And it's like, here's the thing. If you're, ticketed for speeding and then 5 years later they change the speed limit in that area, well, can you go back to the judge 5 years later and say, well, I was doing, 60 there, and the speed limit's 60 there now. At the time, it was 45. Can we get this ticket taken off?
Right.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But with the climate and the temperature and the things that are going on now, I think they did the right thing. It's been 19, 20 years since this happened. So,
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it. I think it's the right thing to do. And you made a great point. I know Green Bay had a former great that got into a lot of trouble for some terrible crimes, and he was our all-time interception leader, and they took his statue down. But guys, he's still their all-time interception leader.
Yeah. They don't take that away. I to rewind, I guess, when it happened through that first month or two, I just never thought nothing about it. When it happened, did you feel like, well, gosh, this is kind of, or did you feel like, no, this is the right thing to do?
No, I never did.
I never did either.
I never did care for it. Well, because he's not the only one. I mean, Eric Dickerson told stories.
Oh, a lot of stories.
Which he didn't win the Heisman, but a lot of them did. And, I've heard stories that Bo Jackson never went to class, and people don't want to hear this, but breaking academic rules is just as punishable as money.
Sure.
Type rules. And, I've heard that about Kentucky players. They never went to class. They just went on pro. I don't know if any of that's true, but, about getting cars and houses. And so
you hear stories, kids shooting dice in class, getting in trouble. And
I'm sure he did it.
Coach makes them run. They don't get in trouble with the school.
Cam, they supposedly got $200,000 to play for Auburn.
Now he's denied that again on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp's podcast. And also I'll bring this up and we'll move to the next topic. Really to kind of close the door on this. Well, okay. Well, why did all this just come about? Okay. Where did this, why now? What brought this up?
Yeah. I'm wondering that too.
Reggie's getting his groove back. Well, why right now? Well, one, I think, first of all, a lot of people have been questioning it for a long time, and the conversations need to happen. I think that because of the temperature and the waters that we're in now with NILs, I think that has something to do with it. I think the first part, though, is one thing, is speaking of Shannon Sharp's podcast, Johnny Manziel went on his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And Sharp had asked him about Heisman and that type of stuff and him, what he went through. And Johnny just admitted all of it. He poured his guts out and said, I was drunk and I partied and I was a real turd and I apologized to Coach Sumlin and my teammates.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in a bad place. But I'm not going back to, I will not. They invite him to come all the time. You know, so you don't never see him on Heisman House or.
Right.
He said, I'm not doing none of that stuff.
No, he's never not in any of those commercials.
No, and that's why. They said they did give Reggie a trophy.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Of all the stuff that I done.
Yeah. Yeah.
He admitted like, hey, hello, I was
he
a
actually
turd.
hurt the team.
Yeah, I was a turd. And he said, Reggie is actually, he said, I've met him a couple of times. He's a great guy, good family guy. You never hear nothing about him. Went to the pros, played for a while, had a good life, tied it with Kardashians for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, when have you ever heard about Reggie Bush being pulled over by the law and getting in trouble? Never.
Well, you know, like the 3 years he was the starter, 2 years, whatever, they were like 23-1. I think Manziel was 17-9. If we're going to go by records, which I know Manziel can't play defense.
Right.
But like you said, he was a wild man and Bush was not. But nobody would ever, like if Manziel had got in trouble for having drugs and alcohol and kicked off the team, they wouldn't have took his Heisman.
No. And then the next part to that is, which I may be wrong on this. Now, these are just my speculations, and I've heard 2 or 3 other people talk about that. And we just think, and I've heard another person say this, that they wanted to get a little egg off their face after OJ passing away and the committee kind of giving their condolences, you know, and like he felt a little like he's accused of murder,
double murder,
and pretty much admitted that he done it.
Yeah. I don't think there was never another suspect. Now we don't want to get into that, but you know, I'm sure people.
So
there's not many people that don't think he didn't do it.
The Manziel stuff, NIL stuff going on now, then the OJ thing, and maybe the committee. Josh Pate quote him. Late kick show. Let me clang some egg off our face right now. Let's give this trophy to Reggie and get away from this OJ thing.
Well, I got a question for you. Now,
I mean,
would they have took OJ's trophy had he been convicted?
See, that's what I'm saying.
They might have, but that could probably be justified.
Yeah, you're taking life. Reggie took some money.
Yeah.
His mama got a house.
But we don't know that they would have. I don't know. I mean, OJ did go to prison after that. He got a 33-year sentence and did 9.
There's a lot.
He didn't lose it.
I mean, if we want to start digging into, you don't want to get in that closet. You want to go back to some like Cannonball that wanted at LSU 77.
Yeah, Billy Cannon.
Okay, there's a lot of party stories and roughing women and.
Oh, he's a wild man, wasn't he?
So I mean, I'm just saying, let's not. I just don't think you're probably going to like what you find out.
Right.
But now I heard this as an example too, and we'll go this next part that Jeff brought up. You know, there's and I don't want to hang around on this. There's a hearing for a ex-presidential person. I'm not going to try by name because I don't want it to be tagged in the video. But everybody knows what I'm talking about. And they're trying to pin stuff that maybe that had some goings-ons that had happened, but had happened not really on his time. So are we going to punish FDR for having a Japanese commie camp? Remember when he locked all the...
Oh, yeah. Kind of bad.
Very bad. People, if you don't know...
I mean, those people wasn't involved in that. They had internment camps.
Why am I being put in camps? You're Japanese. Get in the cage and shut up.
Yeah.
Well, no, we can't trust none of you.
We don't live over there. We don't.
No. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's during World War II, FDR had these camps. And your other great Kennedy also was going to do the Operation Mongoose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, history people, just type that in when you're off the show. And I'm saying there's a lot of stuff. And an ex-president, Obama, had a drone strike, wound up a civilian, I mean,
yeah.
If we want to start digging back into Heisman people, that's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
I don't know if you probably lose a lot of Heismans. And Reggie, of all of that, my final thing, of all of that, the horrific things done, what's Reggie really done?
Yeah, I never did
come
recognize it. I mean, I understood that, hey, he got in some trouble for some things he did, but I never did. Like if somebody asked me who won the Heisman Trophy in 05, I'd been like, or 04, 5, whatever.
Yeah.
Reggie Bush. I didn't go, well, Reggie won. No, he didn't. Nobody won it.
But there's an asterisk.
No.
I watched him play closely his whole college career, and White that played behind him.
Lindell, yeah, he had a good game.
Wow.
He was good. Well, he did run them both, didn't he?
Bro, that USC bunch was just – Pete Carroll they was on one of those.
Well, they should have won. I mean, they went for it on 4th down, and Texas stopped them, and then Young took over, but they still just won by 2. But if they got that 4th down, which I didn't blame Carroll for going for it,
no,
they would have won.
Well, and that's what led up. And people, we've done polls here, and we've done during the summer. We usually do that sometime. We'll do one, I'm sure, this summer. Greatest bowl games, and that one always comes up one because of the story of how Reggie Bush built this story into being such a great athlete that he was, and they get beat. Goliath, the USC monster that had been built on the West Coast that Pete Carroll had built, finally took a lick. And this tall, strapping young black guy that just went out there and come from Texas, real humble, real quiet, and he beats them. That's why it's the greatest bowl game ever.
Yeah, boy, he was good.
It's the story, man. It's the story behind it and the build up to it. So Reggie Bush getting it back, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know why they ever took it anyway.
I'm a stat geek, but like USC had nearly 600 yards in that game. That was against the number 2 team in the country. We talk about great offenses, and me and Matt always say LSU and Alabama when Mac Jones and them play. What about that bunch?
I know. 600
yards in the national championship game?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. And either one of those teams that year could have been, the 1 or 2 could have been reversed.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because, they were dead even. Yeah. They really were.
Yeah.
Because before Young did that, it was 38-33 before he ran the touchdown there, 38-34.
There's a 30 for 30 about him, about Vince Young, that if you have not seen it, please go see it. It's a build up to that game and that bowl and what happens the end of the season before of them losing and then coming back the next year on a driven purpose. And Coach Mac Brown and Dipisco out there on the sidelines, boy, he's getting them fired up. He got done very dirty out there.
Well, I knew that joker was good because I go up Manning's and watch Nebraska, and they were playing Texas one day, and they was like, here comes freshman quarterback Vince Young in. He played the first or second game. Dude, he was electric. And I'm like, who is this kid? He could run the ball. Wouldn't you say he wasn't the first great running quarterback, but he's one of the greatest running quarterbacks in college football history.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's on your list if you watched college football in that time. So
him and Manziel.
Talking about other great quarterbacks, Terrell Pryor.
Ohio State.
Jeff brought this question up. I'm glad he did since we're on this topic. Now they had to forfeit that year. Old sweater vest.
Yeah.
Trussell.
Yeah.
What do you think about that now that this happened with Reggie? What's the – what do you – I mean, you remember –
Was that 2002?
I don't – Jeff, please tell us. I don't – it was –
Or they won it in 2 and 14.
2012.
I remember Pryor. Pryor was very good. They had Pryor and Braxton Miller and Cordell Jones, and they've had a bunch. But so they took some games away from that team.
Well, they put on probation that year. So, you remember why though they had to forfeit that season?
No.
Terrell Pryor and them got tattoos for free. Mm-hmm. Well, they're going to forfeit all the games now. You're done.
I do remember that.
Remember that?
Yes.
They won the Big Ten necklace. You got a little.
They
pendant,
won the Big Ten,
and he gave the tattoo artist the pendant to get tattooed. And they had to. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Does that make any sense
I
at all?
do remember that.
Does that make any sense at all? That makes no sense at all. What year was that, Jeff?
He's probably right. 12, he say 11, 12. I thought Pryor was fantastic, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the tattoos. But yeah, I forgot about that.
So now that this has been kicked around now, I mean, there's people up at they're talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if it's going to come out in the mainstream news because it may not catch a lot of traction, but here's the thing, man. We're not talking about, replacing USC's because they had to forfeit the games that year.
Yeah.
Okay. But Reggie got his Heisman back.
Right.
We're not talking about just giving a player an award that he earned on the field. You would be considering to put championships back on the books and pretty much lost your coach because of how all that started.
Right.
He lost control of the team. Prior he Coach Trussell was, had no control.
They were fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I mean, everybody that Ohio State run, they were always 3, 4, 5.
Well, it don't take much to get. I mean, it don't take much of the media. It don't take much to get a coach fired.
Not down, especially.
No.
And I kind of feel like I've always kind of felt like that incident was one of the first to kind of bring in how media affects the coach and them getting run off.
Yeah, and he had done great, and he got run off. And like you said, the narrative was he can't control the players no more.
They got tattooed. And I know Jeff hates furball, but dude, he give them chicken fingers and a plate of macaroni and had a coach on the field, and they're on probation. There was a coach on the field during COVID. I'm not going to get.
Yeah, they broke some. They broke some small group rules.
Who cares? It's ridiculous.
Which they can have the small groups, but they broke them. Like I can take 4 over there. You can't come over there, and apparently I brought you over there, and me and you both.
Do you think this going to kick off some? Is this going to kick over an ant bad to say that Ohio State's going to want to get some games put back? Well,
yeah, I think they probably could.
It'll get some talk. It's not going to happen. Alabama had to forfeit those games for the swimming team was selling books.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had to forfeit games, football team, because the school got in trouble.
Can't make any money.
No. They got losing they had to forfeit football games. Saban had to forfeit games that year because the kids were, you're given a book. You go to the bookstore and the money's taken off your grant, off the computer when you go get your books. And if you sell them, which I did, it's the same thing, or I'd sell them back to online, but usually I'd sell them to a kid. Hey, you got the class next semester? Yeah, $100 for the book. Oh, yeah, great. Because it's a $300 biology book. I sell it to him for $100. So
right.
Alabama had forfeit games because of that. But now players can get paid. So do we start putting Bama's games back on the board?
Yeah. Well, you can't go back. They probably won't do anything.
Right.
Because now they got to do it for everything.
Yeah. So
I mean, I remember back in the 80s, Auburn had a quarterback named Jeff Berger. Pretty good.
Yeah.
He got in some trouble because he went on a hunting trip and one of the boosters paid for his plane ticket.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember.
And he may have had to sit out.
Yeah.
A bowl game. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he got in trouble.
Yes.
And they got fined and everything.
Yeah. What are we doing?
They paid for his plane ticket. Or they might have even been something as simple as they got his food.
Marcel Darius and one other player at Bama. I believe it was Julio. Because it was one of his last years, or Marcel's last year's. Julio was coming in, or anyway, they went on a fishing trip in Mobile, invited by a booster, and the booster bought them all dinner, put them on the boat, took them all on a fishing trip, and give them money to get back home, have gas and food, and $300, $400, $500. I think it come up to be $700. Well, they were forced to give that money back to one of their own picked donations. So they give money to a church somewhere. See what I'm saying? What are we doing?
Well,
what are we doing?
Jeff Berger flying to Louisiana in 1987. How much you think that plane ticket was?
$20.
It couldn't have been too high.
What are we doing? Like Anthony Chambers, shout out AC over here at Cedar Bluff. He was at Auburn game, and Nick Fairley and another player were in the booth. We're at the diner at Auburn. They had won a game there. Don't remember who they played. And he's celebrating with his alumni. That he's celebrating a win. And he tries to get the check of these two young men. Hamburger, milkshake. The bill was probably like $20 for both. Sorry, Mr. Chambers. I appreciate your incentive to, want to, just buy us a burger. We're just kids, college kids, just hanging out. If they find out about that, we'll probably have to set out a game. An alumni. Not just even a ranked stranger, but a guy that cares about his school that just wants to buy some kids a darn hamburger. That's where we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right.
The NCAA, we did this last week. They're a joke. So Reggie got his groove back. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have any problem with it. I can't see the debate against it.
Not a big deal at all. Group of 5. Another big topic that's going to be kicking around. This one may gain some wind a little bit, and we want y'all's thoughts on this too. I put a post out there a few times. Group of 5 creating a playoff. So teams like Memphis and whatnot, or Hawaii, or
that'd
be
Memphis, Hawaii, James Madison, Boise,
the
Boise,
Zip,
Akron, yeah.
Georgia Southern. We're talking about some quality teams.
Very, very quality.
They'll never, ever, Dean, ever get a chance to win the national championship. When are they ever going to be able to beat Georgia?
So I think,
or Alabama or Ohio State?
Can I say something? And I think you'll agree with this. I think there ought to be something for them.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to.
That's what they're trying to do.
There's somebody's trying to put this together. And,
yes, they should.
How many teams are in the
MAC and all that, Sun Belt?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you've got some really good teams. You got James Madison, Liberty, Coastal, Appalachian.
You got the MAC, and I'll just go through these kind of fast. This is a topic, guys, and this is going – I hope this gains some stuff. And us talking about it, I hope we can help gain some traction for this. The MAC teams, which is like Buffalo, Central Eastern Michigan, Kent State, Ohio, Toledo, Western Michigan, the MWC, the Mountain West, Air Force, Boise, Hawaii, I mentioned, Nevada, Fresno State, good football, San Diego State. Marshall Faulk played at San Diego State.
They've had some good teams. They're not going to win one, but they've had some good teams.
UNLV, Utah State, didn't they beat Auburn a few years ago?
I think
Utah State, Sun Belt, Appalachian State. You mentioned them. Arkansas State, where Jacob St. Clair plays basketball out there. Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Louisiana, Raging Cajuns, New Mexico State, good football team. South Alabama, Texas State Bobcats. I've mentioned them on this show. They're a good football team. Troy's a good football program.
I think they should do a Final Four for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Cincinnati, you're talking about the American League now. Houston is a good team, man. Memphis, we mentioned them. SMU is going to be on a tear. They're going to have a good team this year.
They're fixing to be very good.
South Florida, Temple, Tulane. Now, some of these are changing now, okay? Because I know UCF and
SMU too, right?
They've joined the Big 12. So some of these are actually changing.
Has Memphis changed yet?
I don't think so.
Would you watch a Final Four for them?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would too. I think a lot of people would.
Conference USA is something like maybe like North Texas, Rice, UTEP, Western Kentucky. I mean, I'm just giving some names here. Now, some of the top 25s that I'd sent Dean this list, just some names to kick around out there, like Marshall, Troy, some top 20 teams, Memphis, Toledo.
Tulsa would be one of them.
Wyoming's on there. James Madison, and we mentioned San Diego State. Well, I would like to say let's make something. Maybe
I just think maybe that, and I don't know how they would do it, but have a little playoff for them.
Make a Elite Eight,
and that could be your mid-major champion. And I know
give them a trophy or something.
I know y'all get sick of this, but me talking about the state of Kentucky, but they do one basketball champion. But during the middle of the season, they do a small school championship. Now, the small school can still win the overall, but they do a small school championship. So you can still win your small school championship.
Yes.
And the overall. And, if they're good, I just think there ought to be those are what we call mid-majors. I think there ought to be a mid-major champion.
Why not?
What would it hurt?
Well, there's quality football.
And I guarantee you it would be watched.
There's quality football teams out there right now that I think is good. They have good programs, man. I mean, why can't we?
Well, let me ask you something. You meet a guy, you go to eat at the top of the river, and you're sitting beside a guy, and he tells you he's a coach, and he's won a mid-major college championship. Are you going to laugh at him?
No. I'm not there.
You're going to be like, that's pretty impressive.
I don't know.
And that's what it would be.
There's always politics involved. So do you know any other reason? Why has this not happened before? Why are we not?
I don't know, because I'm like you. I don't.
We just named a lot of good football teams.
Yes,
those are good teams,
but none of them are ever going to win the championship.
Can Texas State beat Ohio State?
No. I mean, they may come 1 year.
No.
Who knows?
Never.
It's happened. App State beat Michigan once.
In a game, but for them to go through a playoff, through a gauntlet,
no way.
Are they going to be able to beat Ole Miss round one?
No.
And then go on and play LSU the second round. Then they get to go to the Final Four playoff. Then they're going to catch Ohio State or Texas.
No, they would have to be pretty loaded.
They can't. They don't have the players because they don't have the money or the funding. So,
and they don't do it in basketball. Only thing, and this may be, I'm just throwing this out
because
there.
of basketball, they can't.
Would they start hollering, we want one for basketball?
We'll do it.
You could. Mid-major. We got a mid-major championship.
And keep the major 5 bowl games, I guess, for the NCAA, the big schools for Texas, Oregon, Bama, Georgia, LSU, you know. But those other bowl games, like the Piggly Wiggly Meat Department Bowl, I don't know.
Cornwall Furnace Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, the Hewlett Packard, bowl.
Hewlett Packard Draketown Gas Bowl.
Use that for Texas State versus Appalachian in the second round playoff.
Yeah, yeah. And they could do 8. They don't have to just do 4. They can do 8.
Do an 8.
That would be FCS, right?
Yeah.
There's FBS and there's FCS.
I'm for it, man. I don't know what we're waiting on.
I think it's not Division II, but it's mid-majors. They're not as big. They don't get the players. They don't have the money that Alabama and Georgia and Florida
They're just
have.
not going to. Jacksonville State could get in this.
Yes, Jacksonville State could 100%. And I guarantee you they would be just as excited about winning that.
They went to their national championship the year I was there, my last senior year there.
Yeah, and it was electric around there, wasn't it?
18. Anyway.
You already have Division I AA, but these guys aren't even in that.
Yeah.
They're mid-major D1s.
I'm in for it, man. Anytime you can put together exciting football, I'm like, why not?
Yeah, yeah. And there's now the only thing I would have to question, would Cincinnati, Memphis, SMU, would they be in this? They probably wouldn't. They'd probably move on up.
Who?
Like Cincinnati, Memphis, SMU, Central Florida.
I think if they would make them a darn playoff and make a real trophy and make them
but I think they'd be in with the big boys. But now Central Arkansas and them are not. Arkansas State.
All those teams we just mentioned, Texas State, Memphis, and
North Texas,
SMU, or let them play, man. I'm for it.
I'm 100% for it.
Any better football games, sign me up.
And would it get the type of nobody's going to watch it like they would LSU and Alabama, but what? It's going to be what?
But it's going to be a Texas State versus App State is just as exciting as Alabama and LSU. I mean, it can be.
It can be.
I mean,
I watched App State play last year in Coastal Carolina. It was a fantastic game.
Yeah.
They played on a Tuesday. I don't know.
Now UCF and them, they're joining the Big 12.
Yes.
So they're done. They've joined the conference.
But the ones that haven't.
I'm for it, man. What do y'all think?
Can we get that started right now? Petition for a playoff among the mid-majors?
Yeah.
I think it'd be great for college football.
I'm for it. I've got a check mark on. I'm gonna say
it's like when I was in high school. We should have had a 1A championship for somebody besides Cortland. All right, Cortland's your champion, but here's your co-champion, and just let them go on and have the trophy.
Have somebody else that because they were in a league of their own.
Well, I mean, nobody was going to beat them.
No.
I mean, everybody knew who you got next, Cortland. It's over. You're not going to win a state championship.
But this group of 5 playoff was kicked off by none other than a Sabian coaching tree person, Coach Dooley.
Derek Dooley.
Yeah. He kicked this idea off, and he thinks it's good.
I like it.
You need to get some people. You need to get Tuberville and them behind it. You need to get some state senators, and you need to get those kind of people behind it, and they can take care of it. So
I actually think that's the best idea I've heard in a while.
Who wouldn't want to see Memphis and Liberty play for a championship?
Yeah.
I'm in. I would go to the game. Put it local somewhere where I'm going.
Well, you
Make
could.
The tickets $40 and we're in.
Then the tickets wouldn't be as high, obviously, as Ohio State and Michigan.
$50 sideline ticket. I'm in.
Yeah. I'd love to go to that.
Yeah, Liberty whatever.
And they wouldn't play in the huge bowl settings, but they would play in nice places. There can make it be a championship at Jack State.
Yep. Yeah, they could use it.
Mm-hmm.
We're in for it, guys. You're not going to get to hear us squawking about. And here's something else.
Now, I don't think you can go any further than that, though.
No.
What about for the lower mid-major?
No,
We can't get into that.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, and that's probably why they don't do it.
Right. Well, we'll have 14 championships among the.
But some people were griping about this, saying you're making fun of these, or
We're making fun of them.
Crane come on. He said he got some negative. He reported just like we did, and he's got some negative pushback on it. Like, why are you making fun? We're doing it because we think that they're good. We're not making fun. Well, they can't beat Georgia, so I guess you just make fun of whoever SMU. They're just not good enough, are they? No,
they're not actually supposed to beat Georgia.
We're taking up for them.
They're not supposed to beat Georgia.
They're never going to beat Georgia.
Georgia State's not supposed to beat Georgia, guys.
No, it's the smaller school down the road. And that's just how it is.
And what would Georgia Southern, what's that famous quote by Saban? He goes, they just ran through us like poop through a tin can.
Yes.
They didn't win the game.
Yeah.
I'm talking about they didn't beat them.
No, Bama still won the game.
Still won the game.
But it was a competitive game.
Yes.
Because Bama didn't want to get up for the game.
And he was actually very upset over that.
Go out there and just kind of go through the motions.
He's like, y'all act like we just did something great. That just, that was one of his more famous.
To a tin horn.
Hey, Alabama didn't give up 300 yards, but they probably didn't give up 300 yards rushing, but about 4 or 5 times in his tenure. And that was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys can play. Now, but I don't think they can put together a game to consistently beat
they don't have no
Power
depth.
5 schools.
They need depth.
No.
That's the problem. Like Colorado. Colorado's having problems. Deion's having some kids leave. We talked last week. He's got nearly 20 kids now gone.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not all starters, but if you don't have depth in that schedule they have, it's brutal. So these teams, I want them to play teams that have the same kind of depth they do.
Right.
That will make it interesting. Mm-hmm. And we're for this. We're not making fun of the schools. We want to see good football. No.
That's probably somebody that supports one of them. I don't know why they would think it was. And then, we don't. And we're not making fun of Ivy League schools when we're saying, hey, would you watch, I got a buddy, I'll call him Alabama and Auburn will be on. He'll say, hey, I'm over here watching Harvard and Brown. He's not making fun of them, but nobody in their right mind's watching Harvard and Brown instead of Alabama and Auburn.
No, and FCS does have. We talked about
that's lower.
That South Dakota State wins it every year. That's who Jacksonville State played the year.
That was FCS. Okay. Yeah.
See, they do have a championship. We're talking about a mid-major style.
We're talking about a mid-major for Division
Conference USA and American Conference. Let's get them their own. I'm down for it, man. Have a G5 playoff.
Yeah, they have as of right now, they have no chance. And they know that going in. I mean, Liberty had a fantastic team, but they had to play Oregon in that bowl game. It was 45-6.
Quick. They jumped on them pretty bad. Liberty made a nice move there at the beginning of the game. I think they got the ball first. And they moved the ball. And I was thinking, well, maybe. And then Oregon got the ball. I'm like, oh, okay, now.
Now, basketball's different. Them teams will smoke you in basketball.
Yeah, because you can have a player get hot and win a game. And football's different.
We've seen it. Kentucky, Auburn.
Yeah.
Auburn lost to one of them schools, them Ivy League schools. Yeah. Kentucky lost to, who was it? Kentucky lost to? Oakland?
Yes. So we're in for the G5 playoffs, guys. We're in it.
Yeah, 100%. I think it'd be great.
This week in transfer portal news of College Dean, Mississippi State running back commit Amos. He is going to be he's decommitted, maybe going to Colorado.
Okay.
Auburn. This week now. Auburn defensive lineman. He's to Liberty. Williams, wide receiver Lambert Smith coming from Penn State. Cornerback Hood and Scott were freshmen at Auburn. They're going to be transferring out. Also, a defensive line guy from USC is coming to Auburn. Big news here. Senior 4-star Raikes. Rakes.
R-A-I-K-E. Yeah, Rakes.
Rakes.
That's what it sounds like.
This week's that's some news things happening. And this is the last time we'll have this because the window closes Tuesday. So I'll check again Monday. I'll put some stuff on the page. So Auburn losing some depth. That's a problem for me. They can't lose no more depth at defensive back spot. They're really shallow in D-back. They get one guy hurt sometime about game 6 of the year. Auburn's going to be in a bad spot. They're going to put them in a bad place because they already have to play Bama and Georgia locked in. regardless.
Right, right.
It's going to be tough. And they got Oklahoma coming to Auburn this year. Now, Auburn's got some guys in, and Coach Freeze is going to try to figure this out. But still, again, you're going to have to give this guy – he's not some ace coach that's going to come in and win a national title in 5 years.
Well, you got to be a realist with their schedule.
He's not. He's just not. But who is Saban? There's no more of them. DeBoer's not either. I'm not tooting a Bama horn or nothing here.
Well, there's some people you just don't want to follow. And we were talking about that the other day. They're ripping some guy to pieces over and I'm like, that's just because of who he followed. He's not even doing bad.
Yeah,
this was somebody in a different sport.
Yeah, just chill out and give Freeze some time. So that lineman, now, Dean, that Rakes kid, that's important to them.
Oh, yeah, very.
He's going to be able to come in. Defensive line is going to be important. But can he play this SEC-style football? Time will tell. Now, Bama this week, a 4-star freshman defensive lineman, Perry, and then is going to be transferring. He's out. And then Brockemeyer, which I broke this 3-4 weeks ago. I told this, and I got laughed at. The one I was teasing the guy on Facebook was I had like 200,000 people come across the picture of the lineman there, and we talked about this Brockemeyer kid. Sophomore, probably going to be the center at Bama. He's gone, which we kind of
got laughed at.
I try to tell people I don't want to listen. That's okay.
Did they not realize you just didn't wake up that morning? And
I got news.
I think Brockmeyer's leaving.
Yeah. I watched it from other podcasts, and I keep up with news, and we're on the page, and we Bama and Auburn and Georgia. I see their people, and I know which ones are not just crapping. Just shooting dice. Yeah. I know which ones. I've been doing this. Well, we've been doing the show about 5 years. I don't just stumble into stuff. We kind of do homework.
No, we don't do that. We kind of have a clue, or we've heard something.
Yeah. Now, at first, it was hard because we was just kind of trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But now, after some time, and I do some connections to, not like I know coaches, but just other podcast people or people that, report just Auburn news or Georgia news. I know where they're on at, and I can ask them a question. They always answer me.
Well, and there's also another rule you got to remember. There's some guys, if you hear something on Josh Pate, you can probably take it to the bank.
Yeah. Oh,
even if it's not broke. It's kind of like Todd McShay.
Good.
If he says that Jalen Milroe's going first in the NFL draft,
he's going first.
He's probably going first.
Yeah, Adam Schefter, those guys, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I pay attention to those people, and I follow them where they're on other pages. So this is where we find this stuff out.
Yeah.
Georgia this week, Jaden Rashada, quarterback, 4-star from Pitt. That's been some good news for them. They need another quarterback because
they got
Ravioli.
Ravioli went to
Nebraska.
But I did find out some more on that. He went up there because his daddy played there. Her uncle played there.
I think his uncle had played there. So, but have
you
seen
another
Rashada?
uncle on the staff? No.
Man,
So they got 3 now.
This is going to be a good quarterback room for Kirby. Wide receiver Taylor Williams, a freshman from Lakeland, Florida. He was a 3-star guy. I thought he would come in and develop some. He's going to Minnesota. Now, wide receiver Hicks, he is going to be leaving also. Andrew Paul, a running back, a 3-star guy, headed to Michigan State from Georgia this week. He was a redshirt freshman, but seeing their running back room and ETN is a dog, D-O-G-G. They're going to be fine at running back. So Paul decided to go somewhere else and probably.
You can't blame him. I mean,
no.
There's one thing to compete, but it's one thing to, if I beat this guy out, then I got 3 more,
I know. So why not go? And he's going to go to Michigan State. He'll probably play.
Yeah.
And last for Georgia for the week, the Haynes kid, the 4-star freshman. I'm pretty sure I seen him play in the spring game. I can't remember if me and Birds, when we talked,
Yeah.
I thought I remember seeing him play, but he's leaving. He's going to Syracuse.
Syracuse hotbed right now.
To play with the QB from Ohio State.
I forgot his name. McCord.
Yeah.
Kyle McCord.
To Kyle McCord. So that's Georgia, Auburn, Bama, just something through the week, things, goings on, some transfers, and your favorite teams. Hey, let me tell you a good place to go and where I get a lot of this news from, because they keep up with it, and this is what they do. On 3.
On 3 is good.
Go to On 3, type them in. I got the app on my phone, and you can go to your favorite school, and it'll show the date that they left. It'll show where they're going. It'll show what their NIL values are. So dig around, and find your team. If you like Minnesota or if you like Bowling Green, they're on there.
Right.
This is what these people do.
On 3 is very good.
Very, very good. So I like doing their stuff. So that's kind of all college football stuff. We got transfer stuff. Reggie Bush getting his groove back. We can dig it, and of course some local stuff. And also, I don't reckon. Bless you. That was Todd sneezing. We always have to give special thanks and shout out to our sponsors, Lloyd's Legal Service. We have just one job to protect our clients. Get a hold of Scott for any of your legal actions, Lloyd Legal, LLC.com, or call and make an appointment at 256-266-1416. Good people. Give them a shout out and help support the people that support us. Also, JR and April McKenzie at Cherokee Eye Clinic right up here in town on Main Street. If you need your glasses, your vision, things looking a little blurry, they're too far, you can't move them far enough away to see them, or you have to get close and you can't. 927-4030. See JR and April there, or CherokieEyeClinic.net. Find them on Facebook. Super, super good people, always in support of the county. And of course, the one and true and only Warrior Gym.
Warrior Gym.
I was in there today for about an hour this morning. It's clean. Bathroom, dumbbells, machines, cable machine. You got things you need, treadmills, electricals. You just have what you need.
Good place, isn't it?
Well, you just have what you need. It's not too much, and you got plenty of weight. If you want to lift some heavy stuff, that stuff's there too. 256-266-4333. Text John. Ask him about a year of the membership. Tell him that I sent you, and see if you can get get 10% off or something.
Yeah.
Tell them that we sent you from Big Matt and Diamond Dean, sent you down to Warrior Gym. So thank you again to our sponsors. We're very appreciative for them. Also, Smorgasburg Restaurant.
Great.
I got some dressing in there
Great
that I'm going to probably tackle here in just a little bit. 779-6436. Call, make an appointment. Smorgasburg at the Cove on County Road 131. On the country
thumbs
store.
Up. I'm 100% impressed with it.
Cake, steak, shrimp, the tea.
I've been getting the catfish.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And the little Yukon Gold potato and the Brussels sprouts. I mean, they got good Brussels sprouts.
Potatoes and dressing there waiting on them.
Oh, my gosh, you dirty dog. Let's just eat it right here on there.
And they also doing a blooming onion now.
Oh.
Yep, started that other day.
Well, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, y'all get over there and try them out. Good food, good folks.
Yes, it's very good.
Yeah. So, Dean, I need to. I'll start it off with this one.
Okay.
Tell us a guy. His dad played NBA basketball, and he's been around several different places, coached several different places through the years. Decent player.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Rick Broussard. Well, his son decided to score about 50 today.
Oh, my gosh. He's excellent.
I've never seen nothing like it. The Knicks take care of business 97, 92. I watched basketball.
He's doing commercials now.
I've probably watched my first basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess probably Kentucky, Duke, Carolina, probably 90. Something like that.
Right.
91, 89.
Yeah, I probably did 11 or 12, something like that. Really sat down and watched. Now, I'm not talking about solid.
And I'm not saying he's the greatest player ever to play the game, because I don't do that. We're not going to get on the GOAT topic.
No, I already got on that. I think I actually put that twice this weekend.
Thing.
Michael Jordan's a GOAT. There's no doubt. That's it.
It's no debate.
8 straight years. And don't make no bones about it. They would have won it. They would have beat Houston the 2 years he was out. All right, but let's move it on.
But his dad, he's assisted there, actually.
Mm-hmm. He's brought New York to great heights.
Yeah. So tell us about, did you watch the game? Did you get to see it?
I did not, but he scored.
Wow.
I did catch the end of it. They won 97-92.
Yep. I watched the game.
Guys, Embiid's been playing out of his mind.
He tried to guard him, and it was some of that, like he's jumping to block it, and Broussard is just, it's some of that old Steph Curry stuff. He just lay it high off the glass.
Oh, yeah. And he's not very tall. No. I remember when he played for Villanova, they won it.
Yes, played at Villanova in 15 through 18.
And actually, they won it pretty easily. that was actually one of me and Matt's most dominant teams. You know, we named some champions, but the most dominant champions, we put UConn in there, and that team that
Villanova
18 that Jalen played on, he's one of the top players in the league now.
Well, no, this puts them up.
And they also got a guy named Julius Randle that played at Kentucky. He's very good.
I know.
They're up 3-1 now.
3-1 now. So I look for them to take care of business. I think they play again Tuesday night. They will play. They will finish out the series with 76 and go ahead. I think they go ahead and take care of that series. Tell us about something that you run across.
I think, well, I did notice this. The Clips knotted it back up with the Mavs.
I watched that today. And, wow, I'm telling you.
George and Harden both over 30.
Paul George just got on some – he did one of the – like the Jordan shrug. You know, like, I don't know. I'm just hitting them. They just keep going in.
He's pretty good.
He was like 5 for 7 on threes there at one point.
Now, I
They
did
just
see,
kept going in.
I did see where Westbrook got thrown out yesterday.
He's
He got thrown out. Him and PJ Washington. For the Mavs.
he's somebody to deal with now, okay?
Oh, George?
No,
Westbrook.
Russell
Oh,
Westbrook.
yes, he is.
Okay, for y'all people that don't know, and I know you can get – if you don't keep up with it, and we don't keep up with it a lot.
No.
But Russ is at the Clippers now. He's playing with Kawhi, which Kawhi is out.
He's
and
out.
Paul George is on this team, and James Harden is on this. God, like, what a group. How are they not going to win this?
They're having a tough time on the Mavs, who also have Irving, who
But
had 40 today.
He is my guy. Besides him being a flat earth guy, and he's lost his mind,
Kyrie Irving.
he is one of the most
he's
electric
electric.
basketball players I've hardly ever. Wow.
So they got him and Luka both. But I don't know that they have a ton of players besides them.
I know that's the problem. I don't see them being able to finish this out. What do you think?
No,
I don't think so.
I do. I think the Clips come back and win that one.
Who will that put them against? Who will the Clippers have?
I don't know who they will play. That's the 4. Let me just see here. That's the 4 and the 5. So they will play the winner of the Nuggets and the Lakers. Lakers got one. LeBron scored 30.
I watched the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch any of that game?
I caught a little bit of it. Lakers were in command most of the time. They did blow one game this past week, a 20-point lead.
They stayed ahead of most of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Doncic looked like Joker seemed like to me. He just kind of put it up neutral, and he's like, I'm just not going to do it tonight. I'm just going to go home and rest, and we'll win it. We'll win it at home Tuesday night. I think they play late tomorrow night, like 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So
How about that?
Here's my little take on that. The Lakers, and it's not – I don't mean to just pick on them.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, the ball had went out of bounds and was heading out of bounds, and the Nuggets – got the ball before it went out, and you know, he was just sure that it went out of bounds, and he is stomping. He's a grown man. He is stomping his feet with his hands on his head and crying and begging the refs. This whole series is – there's no doubt that he's not the GOAT. This is just framing the facts, guys, for you younger men. This alone is framing the reasons that he'll never be the greatest at anything but crying.
Yeah.
This whole series, Dean, I've watched it last night. I had to see it live in person and just say, before I just get on here and run off at the mouth, let me really watch him play.
I know he did have a good game, points wise.
He can score.
He's always going to be able to score.
His size, his ability, he's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
But his antics, it's that stomping your feet. He's laying on the floor in game 1, I think. He's laying in the floor.
Yes.
Because of a call. Now, last night.
He's getting worse about that stuff.
Yeah, well, he knows his legacy is being – and he's making it worse. He's trying to take up for himself, but he's just making it worse. Last night.
Mm-hmm. I did not catch any of his antics. I just kept up with the score.
Last night.
Mm-hmm.
It was an out-of-bounds play. Ball goes off somebody, and there's bang, bang, quick, jumping it, bam, off somebody's head, and they, well, while he's arguing with the ref about it, the play continues.
Mm-hmm.
He's arguing with the ref about if somebody was fouled, if AD was, I don't know, or the Russell kid was fouled.
Yeah, D'Angelo.
Yeah, and he's a good player.
He is. They've got good players, but I don't think
he's
they're
over
just
here.
stacked.
You can see his back. He's talking to the ref, and the guy from the Nuggets gets the ball and lays it up while he's talking. And then he gets hacked on the other end of the court. He falls down. The guy didn't hit him. We went back on the replay going into commercial. He did not hit him. LeBron falls on the court, grabs his head. You know how he does? He grabs his head and he looks at his hand like he's bleeding.
Yes.
Well, while he's laying on the court, the Nuggets go back down, and it's 5-on-4 because you know who is laying on the floor crying, whining about not getting a call. So when the camera goes back down, he's starting to get up. He's in the corner talking to the ref again. The place is they're playing basketball.
I'm sure he's not telling him how nice he is either.
We're playing a game, and he is in the corner. Oh God!
Well, let me ask you something.
Stop with it. Don't ever say he's good at nothing. He's not. Yes, he can put the ball.
Yeah, he can score.
He can score, and just because a guy stands at the free throw line for 6 hours straight. Say if me and you just stand out here and start shooting free throws. Well, after 3 hours, my arms wear out, and you go on for another hour. He won. He's the greatest to ever shoot free throws. Well, he played another 6 hours over than I did.
Right,
of course you have more free throws than I do.
Yeah.
That don't mean you're any better. His shooting percentages, his scoring titles, and his defensive lack of winning titles, scoring defensive titles shows. And this stomping, he's stomping his feet and doing his hands like a kid that wants a piece of candy in the store. I just want to be his daddy and just run up there and pick his hand and just start swatting him with a switch and say, "Stop it, LeBron. You're a great player. Stop embarrassing your legacy. You're embarrassing your legacy."
If you had to guess. Now, I did notice the other night that when Denver come back from 20 down and beat them.
I thought they was going to last night.
On a last-second shot by Murray with Davis right in his face. How do you even get the ball over Davis's hands?
They put a Kobe on him.
And LeBron said, "We just didn't shoot good." No excuses. But if you had to guess, how many times last night did LeBron try to manipulate what was going on in the game?
4 times. I know. I counted it. Four different times. And 2 of the times he's arguing with the ref during the play. Mm-hmm. He's got his team 4-on-5 at a disadvantage because he's standing around talking to the ref while the play's going on.
Instead of just playing.
Game 2, the one where he was wearing the toboggan, they asked him a question. He said, "I know this don't have nothing to do with the question, but why do we even have replay?"
Yes, I did notice that.
We're not going to use it. It's not going to be done right. No, it's just not going to be done to pamper you because you're a rich, spoiled brat. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be given to you and say, "Well, LeBron wants to, change the call. We better change it." You're not going to win all the calls, bro. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why you don't know that. He's been playing basketball. How old is he? 38?
39.
He's been playing basketball for probably about 30 years.
Oh, yeah. He was playing, I'm sure.
As a kid, playing around the house, playing in the parks down in Ohio, Canton. You're embarrassed. You're ruining what little sliver of hope you had left. He'll never be my grade. He's a top 7 or 8 guy.
Oh gosh, yeah.
He's in my top 7 probably. I
might even put him in my top 5.
Well, okay, and that's okay. But anyway, we'll continue with the games. I had to share that about.
Can
the
I ask
Lakers
one more
game.
question? Oh wait, I forgot what it was.
But I'm
it
telling
was
you
something
what
about LeBron.
How he's playing the game.
Do you think? Okay, over the years, do you think right now in the game? Okay, Rasheed Wallace was horrible about that stuff, which he led the league in technicals every year. I always thought, which he's well loved now, but I thought Barkley griped a lot when he played.
Yeah.
Is LeBron one of the worst you've ever saw?
He's definitely up there for sure. It's just
Rasheed Wallace would just pop off to the refs a lot.
And then I don't see LeBron getting teed up.
No.
Do you ever see him get teed up?
No, and Dwight Howard
so they're catering to him.
He had a reputation for
who he is.
Yes.
And Howard did too. Very much so.
Dwight Howard, he was, I don't remember that, but they said it was just constant.
I seen it some, but they'd tee him up and that's the end of it. LeBron, after the game, 2 or 3 there, he's following the ref when, what's his name, hit the shot, game winner?
Jamal Murray.
And Murray hit that shot. Instead of going to the team and saying, "Hey, good game, see you guys in there too," he's drilling the ref. He's following him across the court, mad face, saying, "You've got to make that call. You made the wrong call. You blew this for us. It's your fault. This game is your fault. We lost because of you. I can't take it." Take ownership of saying, We just didn't play good enough tonight. I've scored 40. Obviously, my teammates didn't want to play tonight. Just throw them under the bus. I don't know. Have some kind of character about yourself and stop stomping your goddamn feet. I want to take a switch out there and just a little hickory and just whoop his butt with it. He's acting like a kid.
He did have a good game last night, but I think Davis has probably scored more points in this series.
God, he has so many rebounds.
But the Nuggets are good now.
He can just score it.
They're not going to beat them in a series.
No. But well, I mean, they lost 11 straight to them.
Yeah. Well,
so the Lakers are not going to win this. They're going to go back to Denver. I had to share that. And the last thing about not just everybody that I got sidetracked about LeBron.
No, you're fine.
I didn't see it with the Mavericks when they played. I didn't see this as much. But I watched more basketball NBA this weekend. God, man, they play slow. They're lazy. They don't get after it.
No, I know.
The Nuggets and the Lakers game kind of look like an all-star game. Does that make sense? They're just kind of loafing.
Yeah, and even the Clippers, even the Nuggets, right?
Yeah. They kind of here's a lob here, there, and they're hitting threes. But now, who the Mavericks played the Clippers?
The Clippers.
Yes. I didn't notice that with them.
It was just full. It was a tough
Paul
game.
George, Russell West, those guys they're flying through the lanes. They're getting after it. The Knicks, man, they play hard. They play fast.
That's been a good series. I know they're beating Philadelphia, and I know they're going to probably fire their coach again. But that's been a good series.
Now, who's the Bucks play?
The Bucks and Pacers they're down 2-1 to the Pacers.
I see. I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen that.
Well, like what we got right now, Matt, this is if it lines up right, and these are going to be some great.
It's the West
series.
Coast. It seems like they play slow.
Nuggets versus the Clippers. That's what it's shaping up to be.
Well, the Clippers.
Possibly. Nuggets. Well, no, they tied. It's going to be the Nuggets versus the Clippers or the Mavs.
Yes. But those teams both play hard, man. And the Nuggets may not, if they don't get their butt in gear and get some emotion about them. It's like they're just walking around beating the Lakers.
They think we know we got this, but the series to watch, and it looks like both of them are going to win. It's the Thunder. They're both the 3-0.
Yeah,
Thunder and the Timberwolves.
Yes,
yeah. You got Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns with the Timberwolves. Yeah. Got a guy named Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's doing commercials now. He averages 31 points a game. I didn't realize that for the Thunder. Okay, Celtics are in control right now. They're up 2-1.
We got to win this.
If they were to win,
I'm afraid if we don't win it this year, they're going to start.
They're going to start separating.
Yes, the team. We thought they would last year, but they didn't.
No, they did not. They got the winner of the Bucks and the Pacers, and the Knicks, who look like they're going to advance.
I think that's winnable for the Celtics.
Yes, definitely. But they got to get past the Heat first. They're up 2-1.
Butler.
Knicks up 3-1. Magic and Cavs are tied. Have no idea who's going to come out of that. That's just been a good series.
Mm-hmm.
The Cavs have home court, so you got to probably pick them, don't you?
More than likely.
Bucks have home court over the Pacers, but they dropped one on the road. But Giannis was out. They lost in overtime, 121-118. He did not play. And Middleton scored 42. They can get Middleton, Lillard, and Giannis. They're going to be hard to beat. All going on the same night.
That Clippers team.
That Clippers team's loaded.
If you just look at talent, it feels like the Clippers would play the Celtics.
They're having a hard time with Dallas, though, man. I mean, they beat them today, but they had to fight like a dog.
Well, who's the Doncic, the big guy, 77, and Kyrie is just a goddamn magician.
They're having a tough time. I don't know.
Without him, LeBron don't have one of those titles. I don't care what nobody. Y'all can say LeBron's the greatest, and y'all can go out there. Y'all can pull on his horn if you want to. I'm not. Without Kyrie, he don't win that. He don't go back to Cleveland and win that one. I'm sorry. He just don't. There's no way. Does he?
No. Gosh, no. Everybody knows.
If Kyrie,
they probably both averaged the same amount of points.
Yeah,
in that
Kyrie
series.
averaged more the last two games. If Kyrie says, you know what, I don't want to play with this bum, I don't think LeBron they don't beat them.
I remember looking at the guys watching it with. I was like, do you give that MVP to Irving?
Didn't they get?
Yeah,
Golden State.
I promise I asked that.
I did too.
I said, do you
why is he not the MVP?
Possibly give this? He averaged 26 points a game in that series.
Yeah, anyway.
Well, this is what I think is going to happen, but we don't know. Nuggets versus the Clippers in the semis. Thunder and the Timberwolves. That's pretty much, they're both up 3-0. Celtics, I'm going to say Pacers. or Bucks, and the Knicks versus the Cavs.
Well, the
So
Knicks
what they've got set up here is for the Nuggets to play
this Knicks team. I like them.
The Timberwolves and the Celtics to play the Knicks, which will be a fantastic series.
Do you find yourself pulling for the Knicks, and you don't know why, or is it just me? Hello.
Yes,
I mean,
because I think I do it because of Stephen A. and Spike Lee.
I do it just because I watched them.
They got to be excited.
Me and you watched them get just lost opportunity after lost opportunity because of Michael.
Yes,
man, they were great. John Starks and Pat Ewing, all that group.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't George Mason them on that team?
Yeah, Mason was. Yeah, he died.
Yes, I heard that. There's a great team, man, and they
Charles Oakley. I don't know if he might have been gone by then.
See, yes, no, I don't know.
He might have played on some of theirs. They couldn't get past.
Maybe he was definitely on one of those teams.
They could not get past They did when Jordan left.
They couldn't beat Michael.
Orlando either.
Man, they could not beat Michael now.
And Orlando was loaded. They did beat them when Jordan. They did beat Jordan, but Jordan come back just to play in the playoffs that year. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He played in the last 14 games of 95.
Horace Grant beat him in Orlando.
Then played the playoff. And you could tell he took some time off.
Hurt his ankle.
He was normal. He showed that he was human then.
Yeah. He wasn't in basketball. He's been smoking and drinking, playing golf all day.
Playing baseball.
So that's our take on NBA. And,
it'll be a good one.
Yeah. Tomorrow some games, and then Tuesday the Lakers will close out. We think, I guess.
I will say this. As of right now, I don't think the Nuggets will win it again.
I don't either, man. There's some if that's the best they got from what I seen them play last night, they just put it up in coast and said
they got the same 5 starters. Same 5.
This Clippers and Celtics teams have some dogs.
I mean, they didn't lose Gordon. We love Gordon.
James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Guys, I mean, and Paul George, the experience on that team. They know the game. They know how to manipulate the refs. They're like LeBron. They're not stupid. They're smart.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a team. This Clippers team, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, but can they get past the Mavs? And then they got to get past the Nuggets.
If you beat them.
You know who? I don't know why.
They're ready.
I think the Timberwolves are going.
So I hadn't seen them play enough.
I just keep hearing about this. Anthony Edwards, who played at Georgia one year. Anthony Edwards. Apparently, he's probably, right now, he might be the best player in the game. At this moment. I'm not saying he's the greatest player.
No. Yeah,
right now. But just at this moment.
Kyrie Irving is smoke show.
Oh, he scored 40 today. 40.
He's the best I've seen.
He's as good as that movie. What was it, Uncle Drew? Man. That movie wasn't much of an exaggeration.
He dribbles. He was like coming down the court, like dribbling behind his back. You can't do nothing with him. And then when he throws that high floater way up over, I mean, these guys are, 7 foot tall, old Doncic. These big white Amazons from Switzerland and Germany and Russia.
Yeah.
They're over here just taking the league over now. The league's got so soft that we got a bunch of gigantic Russians taking over basketball. Oh, yeah. College too. Am I wrong?
Oh, no.
College too.
Yeah.
That's where basketball's at. Kyrie can do it, man. This boy can.
All right, let me ask you one question. Kyrie, okay, you got $1 million on you tonight. You got to score less than 10, but you can't show it, and you got to work hard. He can't do it. I don't think he can score less than 10. You think he can score less than 10 in a normal ball game? Playing 40 minutes.
No, if he plays the whole game.
It would be too obvious, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be hard.
I mean, he'd have to act stupid out there and just throw it off the glass and backwards.
Dribble off his foot.
He's underrated. And I think it's because he's gone all around the world since they won it with the Cavs. He's been in New Jersey.
It's that flat earth stuff, man. People you get discredited when you start talking.
Well, not New Jersey, it's Brooklyn now.
But when you start talking and all that, get the stab in the arm when all that went down, they wasn't going to let him play. He has a free right as a free American not to be forced to do things. Last time I checked, the good old red, white, and blue has still got red, white, and blue and stars.
Yeah, that didn't help his cause a lot.
I think we still live in a free democracy. And he just did not. He wasn't going to bow down. And I applaud him for it. Hey, stand with your guns. And for people that wanted to take the stab and you want to stand on that ground, hey, man, do your thing. But that took him out of the mainstream media, which is owned by we know who owns mainstream media. And
Right.
I'll do my news show and you come over and watch it. And I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because we know who owns it. But that did hurt him.
Oh, yeah.
It did.
Yeah. You don't hear a lot about it.
No. And
every time I'm looking at it, he's got 30, 31,
they do
40.
it on purpose, man, because he don't conform. He's an Aaron Rodgers. He just ain't going to lay down into stuff.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is pretty bad. He's probably worse than Kyrie, though, isn't he?
No, they're different on different topics. But hey, look, man, if you're a man and you stand on your ground, hey, okay, I can go with it. If that's what you want to do, and he did not want to get the stab, he didn't think it helped any. Hey, okay, I'm with you. I can respect the guy's,
yeah,
his opinions. It's his body.
He's
He
good.
can do what he wants to with it. It is his.
I'm kind of a toss up there. I'm kind of a fan of his, but I'm also kind of don't want to see the Clippers go down because I like their coach. I like that Tyronn Lue.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know who I want to win that series.
The Knicks coach.
I don't even know who their coach is.
He looks like a basketball coach. He's kind of an old white guy, kind of balding with a comb over, and he looks like he's the guy at PE, 1983 PE coach. He looks like the guy. You know what I'm saying? He's the Glenn Loveless kind of guy.
Right.
So that's the NBA. And speaking of Aaron Rodgers, NFL draft, we'll finish it on this one. We have to talk about it. And there's not a lot of NFL fans. And by the way, the Battle Hawks, talking about football, AJ McCarron put on a show today.
Oh, yeah?
They won. They were picked to win by like 3. They were up by like 30.
Oh.
Put on a show. Nobody had been into the DC Defenders and ever beat them at home.
So they're doing pretty good.
They smoked it up today. I'm happy for. I'm always going to mention him.
And he's doing well.
I'm always going to talk about him. I'm a huge McCarron fan.
Oh yeah, he's a good ball player.
Good guy.
I think he should be playing in the NFL.
I know, but anyway,
I don't know. They see something we don't. I don't. Man, I thought he worked himself into a starting spot
today. He was smoking it today.
Well, he had worked himself into pretty much all Dalton's spot. I mean, I'm not saying they were benching Dalton. He was, one time he was considered the best backup.
I know.
In the NFL. And ever since then, his career just gone.
Pac-Man got a call down there that I'll never forget it. He got a call.
That old Perfect did too.
And wound up getting the ball moved back. And they lost the first down because of him down there running his jaw and pushing. So
it was actually a unsportsmanlike. It wasn't arguing with the refs.
Pac-Man cost him the game, and that put a loss on AJ for some reason. He
never did.
I don't
even know if he started 5 more games the rest of his career.
That was it. That Pac-Man single-handedly destroyed AJ McCarron's pro career. Just like that.
Well, I'll tell you something else that hurt. He goes to Buffalo and they draft what's his name, who's fantastic.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Which he's good.
He's like, forget this. Are you serious?
I'm going back to UFL. I can make a good living, get to see my wife, my beautiful kids every day. I don't have to crazy travel.
And I thought that was stupid too. I was like, why are they drafting Josh Allen? And Josh Allen's fantastic.
Well, he's good. We knew he was good. NFL, let's see. Falcons drafting Penix Jr. is questionable.
I mean, I see arguments for it and I see arguments against it.
Let's just think about this as a multi-billion-dollar business. Tell me what you're doing. This is the Dean Dragons.
Well, most people said you definitely get Dallas Turner. You get a rusher. You need help on defense. And you don't. And from what I read, the Braves, the Falcons have the worst draft grade of everybody. All 32. But they did get Penix. Now they got Cousins and Penix. But they got 2 good quarterbacks.
Okay, guys, here's the thing. Now, there's things happen behind the scenes that we don't know. I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Yes.
Maybe, Jeff, what if Penix was just not in the room there and they may have had some thinkings of maybe – what if the Jets wanted him or something? Because maybe he could back up Aaron for a while. What if they were wanting to try to get him, or what if the Chargers, may have wanted to? Because the Raiders still didn't wind up getting a quarterback. They're going to have freaking Gardner Minshew. What the crap?
I know, and they got Bowers. They got Brock Bowers.
So maybe they thought, because just unmanaged areas that they didn't do very well. Atlanta they're higher up. They're office people. Oh, we'll never get him. Oh, dang, man, we got a strike on this Cousins deal right now. Let's just get him.
Yeah.
At least we know we'll have somebody.
If Cousins goes down.
If Penix, well, they want to get Cousins right now. And then we're never going to get Penix. We're never going to get him. He's going to wind up. We'll never get him. Then all of a sudden, the deal comes through and they're like, crap. Oh, wow, we may be able to get him. Well, gosh, what do we do? Not take him now? Do we take Turner and leave the quarterback to go, I don't know, to play at San Diego or somebody? Or because they're not going to let's see, the Chargers are, well, they're in the same division with the Broncos. But I mean, no, they wouldn't. What I'm saying is they're not like they're going to meet the Chargers. The Falcons wouldn't until they play the Super Bowl. So I think that this was mismanaged a little bit.
Well,
I don't think it was on. I don't know if I'm just saying I don't think they set off and went, you know what, we're going to get Cousins and we're going to get Penix too.
No.
I don't think that's what happened.
It's just something that maybe come up.
I think they were like, we need a quarterback, get Cousins right now. And then they found out later, holy crap, we may be able to get Penix.
Well, their second round pick is an edge rusher. Maybe they know something about him that we don't. Maybe he's fantastic and we don't really know it. So, and they did get 2 D linemen too. So they got their needs. They just didn't get them when people thought they should have. They wanted them to get Turner.
Yeah. So who's some guys that took some bad turns in the draft? Like besides the Falcons, who else kind of flubbed?
All right. I got all that right here. Carolina, they said they were one of the worst. They did get Sanders, the big tight end from Texas, and they got Texas, the running back from Texas, Brooks.
Yes, I like him. Boy, I like him.
But outside of that, they did not do well.
Okay.
They did not do well. Others, Detroit did not do well, but they did get 4 DBs. Their number 1 pick was a lineman. Nothing wrong with that, but they just didn't get a lot of skills. The Jaguars didn't do very well. They got LSU's other receiver. Malik Neighbors was their main receiver.
Yep, he's good.
And they got Brian Thomas Jr.
Which he didn't go to the Jaguars. Neighbors did.
No, Neighbors did. No,
right.
Brian, and they got Texas backup running back, but other than that, no skill. And the team that did the worst.
It's the Falcons.
Well, no. Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, Jerry's just he's not impressed me. I'm done with him.
But they said they did fill their line needs.
Well, then they're okay. But I'm
but
just
not their skill needs at all. Not even close.
Well, I've been done with them for a long time, man.
Well, and I will say this, Detroit probably didn't need a whole lot, did they?
Well, here I'll start backwards. The team that I felt like that that were Detroit, they did get a good spot here. They got Terry Arnold for Bama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's a solid second team, maybe first team.
Well, they loaded up on DBs now.
Right. I mean, he's not All-American, I don't think.
No, but he's good.
But he's a solid 4-star guy.
Yes.
And I think he's a good kid. I really believe he'll come up there, and I think he'll put in the work. He's a nice young man. I've seen him do a lot of podcasts, and he is funny.
Yeah.
He keeps up a lot of energy in the locker room, and those things are worth something.
Yeah.
They are worth something.
So you like Detroit's?
Yeah, draft. I like them. Yeah, they'll be okay. I mean,
they just didn't tear it up. No, don't get me wrong. None of these teams did terrible. These are just the ones that didn't do. They didn't
do real good. But now let's think. Now Detroit, of where they played last year in the playoffs and where they got to, what do they really need?
I don't know that they had a ton of needs.
Yeah. I think this D-back room will help set them up to get back in a deep playoff run again.
Yeah, I agree. 4 DBs.
Now the Eagles get another DB. They took one of them. This Mitchell guy, he is you need to look him up. He played at Toledo. He's one of the top DBs in the country. Don't think just because he played at Toledo he's not good.
No.
I'm telling you, they thought that about Jerry Rice too.
Yeah, Mississippi Valley.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping the Falcons think about this edge rusher.
We'll find out. So Mitchell, D-back guy, the Eagles can pick up a good one. The Jets pick up the fashion guy. He's an offensive tackle. He's Penn State offensive lineman. Okay. Now, if he's Penn State offensive lineman.
I had a hard time pronouncing a lot of the linemen that got drafted.
You know what he looks like.
Oh, yeah.
6'10", 330. I mean,
huge.
Yeah. So the Jets take care of some needs there. Lions, Eagles, Jets. Giants, get them the quarterback, this Jones kid, to come in. But the big pick is the neighbor's kid to go into the Giants wide receiver LSU.
Oh, that's huge.
He is a dog.
That's huge. He's as good as it gets.
As good as it gets. And also the worthy kid from
Well, I like that, man.
Texas.
I like that. To me, and we won't get into this, that was my favorite pick because of who he's going to be playing with. He's going to be playing with Mahomes.
I know.
And I don't know if y'all know this, but Holmes, Kelsey's his main receiver. But that Rashee Rice wrecked his Lamborghini the other day racing and left the scene of the accident.
He done.
So he's probably going to be suspended for a while.
Yeah.
Worthy could slide in there.
And he's good, too.
He's very good. We saw what he could do.
Yeah, he torched Bama several times.
Yeah.
And not a surprise here. I want your thoughts on this, too. The Vikings making some big picks. They get Turner from Bama. They get playing defense. They're going to try to make a push this. They're going to get him a quarterback. They got Michigan's McCarthy. Now, McCarthy.
That was kind of.
He is a McCarron kind of manages games. Let me tell you something, guys. You know, McCarthy has only lost like 3 games in his life. I mean, his whole life since he started like in ninth grade
kind of like
football.
Ace Austin.
Yes. I mean, he's that 9th grade freshman that he's never lost. At some point, you got to just count that he's a winner. He wins. Is he going to shoot the place lights out of the place? Is everybody going to just ooh and no? But
I was shocked by it.
But he's going to win.
But obviously, he had a good pro day.
Good pro day. Dude, he's like an 80-some% QBR proficiency guy, 88, 89%.
Yeah, I was shocked by it, but they know more than we do.
Well, here's the thing with this team. What did he really have to do? They played great defense. They had all them 5th-year seniors come back.
Right.
He didn't have to do a lot.
He didn't have to do a lot.
And let's give a little – I'm sorry, Jeff, but we're going to give a little acknowledgement to Furball. Yeah,
their defense.
What
was
up,
good.
Zach?
They give up 300 yards, less than 300 yards in 2 playoff games.
So you got to give tips off to Furball for being a good coach. He put together a good team, and he's also going to put together a good pro team here at San Diego. So let's just give the Vikings a chance, see how he does in the old purple. Let's see how McCarthy does. They're going to have him defense end for Bama. The Bears pick up number 1 pick overall. I've never been a fan of Williams.
Good picks.
Yeah, and they picked up Odunze from Washington.
They got Odunze and Williams. Oh, they are turning flips up there in Chicago, aren't they?
Well, the crappy teams get the better picks now, and then of course Joe Alt. They got a big time the Chargers because this is what Furball's going to do.
That's what their need was.
The big Notre Dame guy. He's going to build a team inside out. He knows what he's doing. If you like him or not, I'm not a big fan of his. I like his brother a little more.
Yeah, I think his brother's
more personable.
His brother seems to know the whole game.
He tries to
defense, offense, special teams, everything.
Jim seems to be a little more. I need you to see me.
Yeah. Oh, John don't care.
And he just like I'm just coaching football.
Yeah.
So back to the Bears.
Wow, Bears.
Are you a Caleb Williams fan? Watching him play last year, you did watching him play. Did you go, holy crap, man? Did you see USC play yesterday? He is awesome.
I thought they kind of packed it in last year.
I don't remember you telling me that at all.
No.
I'm not a fan. I'm just not. I don't think he's that good.
I understand.
I mean, I can't help how I feel. I'm not a Quinn Ewers fan either. I can't help how I feel.
Yeah, no, you're not a Quinn Ewers fan. And Ewers, I mean, I'll say this: Ewers' best 2 games, both years, have been against Alabama.
Yeah. In
the other games, he's not done as well.
I just don't see it.
Well, what you think about
Odunze?
You got Odunze and Williams,
but if they don't,
they're both rookies.
But the Bears, if they don't have an offensive line of sorts, you've got to run the football and play. Guys, the game of football is always going to be. Now I know you can have these high flying offenses places.
Right.
But you got to be able to run the ball and you got to play defense, right?
You got to.
Always. So is Chicago going to build them a line, and how's their defense going to be? Those are the things that I'm thinking.
I think their defense is okay. Line's probably average. Well, what do you think about – did you want me to go through these?
Yeah.
What do you think about – I loved it because I love him. Daniels going to Washington. I won't go through all these.
Yeah, Yeah, we want to know LSU, Bama players, where all the Georgia players went. We can talk about all them because people are interested in that. People that don't even really like pro football, they still want to know where.
I got to ask you some questions.
They want to know where some of their guys went, and they may not watch a lot of NFL football, but still people want to know where Ladd McConkey went. But Jaden Daniels, Heisman winner, LSU, he's a heck of a young man, a good football player. I think he'll do fine there. the thing with Washington is, I've always worried about their upper management, man. When you change your name,
it's not real
from the Redskins to Commanders because you're being pushed by a bunch of pansy groups because you think that's the right thing to do. And you're going to push you around, tell them to kick rocks and eat dirt. I'm not changing the name. We did this in homage of these people.
Yeah, right.
We did it in honor.
We're not making fun of
I'm
them.
not changing my name because you don't like it. Then I'm not buying tickets. We'll cancel whatever you feel like. So that bothers me a little bit. But I hope he does good because I like him. I think he's a good player.
What do you think about Made in New England? Or they just give up on Mac? Well, Mac Jones is gone anyway, but Bailey's happy. They're just done with all those guys.
Well,
they got a new coach too.
Yeah, Darth Vader's gone. They got the new
Gerard Mayo.
Mayo is there. He's the new coach. I don't know. I'm a May fan.
I didn't see May play a whole lot because we just don't see North Carolina football a whole lot. But I thought that was. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not 100%.
I hope it goes good.
Now, I love this fourth pick, Harrison to Arizona. I think he will revive Kyler Murray's career.
Yeah,
he's great. Marvin Harrison's fantastic.
That's a big move for them. They're going to spend some money and look for them to try to. They're going to keep some money. They're going to try to keep some money there and build this team.
J.C. Latham from Alabama. We already talked about neighbors and all going. J.C. Latham went to the Titans. Wow, I did not know he'd go in the top 10. I did not think
he's a dog, man. He's a fence post mover.
And we've talked about Penix, Adunza, McCarthy. That one guy, I can't pronounce his name. Okay, these next two. I want to go over these right quick and see what you think. And I was shocked by this. Big Bo.
I love it.
I think he'll start or have a shot at it.
That's what I was going to mention him, but I knew you was going to do that, so I'll let you. I think it's great. I don't look. The guy played over here at Central Phoenix. His dad's called offense. His dad played at Auburn. He played at Auburn. He didn't fit to the formula. Gus didn't use him right, so he just packed his bags and went to Oregon. And it turned out what good for him. Dan Lanning used him correctly. They won a lot of good football, big football games. They were national contenders, most all the time he was there.
They were.
They
top
struggle
5 for sure.
They struggle on defense, as most Pac-12 teams usually do.
They were a little better than I thought.
Absolutely. They were better. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Bo play at Denver.
I am too. I did not realize. I thought he would get drafted, but I didn't realize it would be that well. All right, and Bowers to the Raiders. I'm sure you like that.
No,
because they have quarterback trouble.
Didn't you?
See,
no, I didn't sneeze. Excuse me.
We think that Bowers may be the next Travis Kelce, right?
Absolutely, man. And I know he's going to just go. And remember, guys, remember this.
Yeah, he's not going to refuse to play for them.
Remember this too. These guys can transfer and move around. It's free agency, just like college football. They're going to be locked in for a year or two, but Bowers may be out and he may be playing at Jacksonville next year. With old pretty boy down there at Jaguars. I don't know.
He could be. We've already talked about Turner and the Vikings, Worthy to the KC. That was the main ones I was going to ask you about. Who's some others?
Yeah, McConkey. Where did he?
I did not see where. I know he did get drafted.
I seen where he went.
Oh, lad. I'm proud of that.
I know, man. Ain't that awesome? MCCO, KY McConkey to Lad McConkey. The Chargers traded up the Patriots. Okay, the Chargers traded up with the Patriots to begin round 2 and took Georgia wide receiver Lad McConkey with a number 34 overall pick in the 24 in the. So Friday night, the Bolts sent numbers 37 and number 110 to New England in exchange for number of pick 34 and 137. McConkey is a top 10 wide receiver prospect in this year's draft.
Lad McConkey. Well, who all got from Alabama now? And we're very proud of McConkey. We thought him and Bowers were fantastic. Terry and Arnold. Where did Kool-Aid end up going?
Saints.
Okay.
I like that.
Did Jace McClellan went to the – hold on, I got it right here.
Falcons.
So he's probably going to be Bijan Robinson, or he'd be the third back. Did
Will Riker's going to the Vikings to go up there and play.
I think that's a good pick.
And then the Jets get the Jalen Key. Key was he got to play a good bit. So
I'm surprised he got drafted.
I know. I'm glad he did.
some others from Georgia. Did any of those running backs get Kenny Milton or Kendall Milton or Kenny McIntosh get drafted?
Will Rickard, talked about to the Vikings. Talked about Turner, Arnold, Kool-Aid. Broswell to the Buccaneers. Burton,
oh, wow.
Burton goes to the Bengals.
Yeah, I did see where Burton got drafted.
10 selections across. Since 2009, Alabama has produced 133 draft picks. They've had
Braswell got drafted, huh?
They have had, this is a crazy fact. In 2019, Alabama had 21 first-round picks. 21?
Since 2019.
No, since then. Since 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 years.
They've had
21 picks.
That's
so
3.5, 4, nearly 4 years.
Nearly 4 a year. And it showed that Auburn has had only 20 all-time first-round picks. So you're curious, like, well, but Auburn still hangs in there and beats Alabama sometimes.
Yeah.
That's just out of good game planning, sheer will, and Alabama sometimes not wanting to play up to expectations. But that's why
you play the game.
That's why, yes, you play the game. That's why Alabama usually kind of leads that series. I'm just being – they just have – I ain't going to try to have a history class here, but –
They got the dogs.
Well, Tuscaloosa was the capital of the state during the Civil War, and they built houses down there. And just population-wise, that's just kind of how it went. Stetson Bennett.
Did A.D. Mitchell? I didn't see where he got drafted. I'm sure he did.
Yep, let's go through them. Powers.
I saw where Ricky Pearsall got drafted pretty.
Report.
Ricky Pearsall from Florida. Very good receiver. Xavier Leggett from South Carolina went in the first round.
Let's see here. Okay, Mims Bengals went round 118. Bullard went to the Packers.
I
their
did
safety.
see where John Bond Bullard went.
One of their inside, their lineman, Van Pran, lineman, he went to the Bills. Smith, that safety, he's at Tampa Bay. Dejon Edwards have no pick on that. Rosemary Jack Saint don't have nothing.
He didn't get picked.
Kendall Milton, really?
Didn't get picked? Wow. So they'll sign as free agents.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And that means they can still be great just because you didn't get drafted.
Yeah, don't think that as a knock. Bob Bowers, though, to the Raiders. And, of course, Memes to the Bengals, Bullard to the Packers. Then that corner, Lassiter, he's going to go play for – he went second round. He's going to go play for Houston.
Lassiter
Texans.
did.
I like him.
Yes, very good.
So that's not a – I don't –
Did Will Shipley get drafted?
I don't think
or is he back? God, he can't be back.
No.
That's the only other one. I saw where one of the linebackers from Michigan got drafted, one of the good ones.
Did Auburn have any guys go?
Auburn did not have a lot go. They did have some players go, but not a lot.
They had any. Their team is just a mess. People, y'all got to remember, Gus did nothing but sit on his hands last year, and then Harsin created
Harsin didn't do very good.
Terrible recruiting.
Yeah.
Terrible recruiting. The Eagles selected running back Will Shipley with 127th overall pick.
So he went fourth round, huh? Third, fourth round?
Going to the Eagles. The Eagles line running back and for trading back to the fourth round.
Eagles are loaded.
Man.
Understatement of the year. The Eagles are loaded. The Eagles has landed.
I like Shipley. I think he'll be fine.
They obviously liked him at Pro Day if he went in the third or fourth round.
He'll be a fine quality player to play anywhere because he's just the guy that's going to show up. He's going to – when you go to check on his iPad to make sure he's doing film study, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's not going to be Kyler Murray. He's just playing Xbox, and then the coaches are wondering why they're trying to trade him off because he's a turd.
So I'm sitting here 2-3 years ago wondering why Kool-Aid's Mr. Football. Now he's a professional.
He's a saint.
And I hope him best. And what we don't realize, he just got to cover good. He don't have to make 100 tackles.
No, you're pro now, man. Just do your job.
That's one of the most coveted positions on pro teams is a lockdown corner.
Yeah, just go do your job and get some. knock some balls out of the air, keep some guys from scoring. And when you tackle, make good tackles and take pride that you played at Alabama and was the last corner, from the greatest coach to ever do it. You got to play for him for his last year.
Oh, yeah. Nick Saban got drafted to coach the New England Patriots.
Yeah, he's going to coach the USFL team. He took a job out there. He's going to coach McCarron's Battlehawks next year.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I think he's done. All I keep hearing about how much he loves being done.
Yeah, he's at the draft talking about, he's clapping for the guys, some of his picks going, and
he's already getting props for being
he's
being a good guy to have on your.
Anything that he's going to do, he's going to study it.
Yes,
he's going to do a good job at it.
He may be watching film right now.
I would bet he is.
Maybe not now.
I bet he is. He's a creature of habit. Yeah. And what do you do on Sundays?
I mean, he may be when Terry's like, "What are you doing?" Well, I got to have this ready. We're doing a show next weekend.
Yeah, I want to work a little bit. I like to work a little bit each day. I don't try to just pile it on like 3 days before.
Well, now Trent Dilfer said that when he was an analyst on ESPN, 4 hours a day.
It's grueling. 4
hours a day.
Joel Klatt, Kurt Herbstreit, all those guys have said how I think it was Herbstreit, him and who's the black guy that talks with a little bit of accent that played maybe at Florida.
Acho?
No, the older guy that's always on the show with them.
I cannot think of his name.
I'm talking about. Kind of got something like a British accent nearly.
Yeah. I know.
Them two, they said we slept in the room on couches. Mm-hmm. We had like 4 TVs on.
Yeah. They don't just walk in there.
No. So like we sit around and talk about, man, boy, if we ever got us a spot here, Matt and Todd go take on a show here, and that's why it's good to do this and start out and do this and be humble and really know if you really want to put in the time. Because I spent probably on research for everything I've done today. I'm going to say I've took 4 or 5, maybe 4 hours. I'll spend 4 hours, and some of it's through the week, and then more of it's usually
I've spent some time too.
Most of it's Friday or Saturday because I get my ideas through the week, and then we try to kind of narrow it down to what we're going to talk about. Or no, we don't NASCAR. Or we want to talk about, we didn't do Talladega last week. We didn't even mention it. I don't know. We got one person that probably watches.
Nobody knows the guy. I don't even know the guy that won it. And they said he won 6 races.
But Michael Jordan's team won it.
Yeah.
And that's the news you got from it. Michael Jordan's, team won.
They said he was just as excited about it as he'd ever been about it, which I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But, these guys spend a lot of time in doing media and they sleep on the couch. So if God's going to bless us to do that, are you ready to spend 4 or 5 hours a day?
Every day. Now,
doing this.
Somebody'd be like, well, that's all Dilford has to do. No, that's not all he had to do. He had to do that on top of his work.
Which even like Saban commentating during the draft.
Yeah.
He's going to do a good job at it. He's going to spend time in doing it. And anything that's worth doing is worth doing right. And he's old school, more old school than me.
I just hope he don't come and want that PA job at Cedar Bluff because I think I'm probably done.
Saban comes in.
That's one of the things when you hear that out in town. Saban's moved here. I heard he wants that PA job, and you're the guy. You're like,
well, I'm done.
Do I even need to pray about this?
No, just pray maybe that I don't know, he loses his voice.
But I have heard that. Pray that he loses his voice. That's not a
Joe Hall's coming back to Tiger. Darn it,
Joe Hall. And you see Joe out at the Walmart. I want to get back in, and you're like, I'll dog it.
Oh, they're gonna give it to you. If Joe goes back there, give it to him. They'd give it to him.
Yeah. I don't know. That, which I've heard more about that, and we won't get into that. But, they did not kick Eli Gold to the curb. There was a lot of
I might have been one of the only people that
differences there.
I told the whole story that week.
Yeah.
Because I spent hours on that. I read 5 different things.
Oh, they tried to accommodate him as much as they could, didn't they?
And I built a story to tell you this is what I do. And And there's a lot of people out there, man. Bama, I ain't even watching Bama no more.
Oh, I mean, I got mad at him.
Bull crap's what it is. I said, that's not what happened. They offered him to come back, but they was not going to put him on the road. He hadn't been on the road. He didn't even call the SEC title game.
Yeah.
And they were going to pay him the same money. And he wanted to go back on the road. Well, he gets
fired the other guy, right?
And and fire the other guy. He doesn't do it anymore.
He's basketball anyway.
And then he gets an offer for this arena team up in Nashville or somewhere. And then they're talking about now like NASCAR maybe have a kid come back
Jack
to me.
State, didn't he?
Yes. So now all this starts rolling back around. And they said, well, at least if that's how you feel, that's fine. Can we at least let you would you call the A-Day game and we'll bring you down the field and, hey man, thanks for all the service. Smile, do pictures, give him a plaque. No. When I heard that, no, I'm not. I'm either all or nothing. I'm done with it. I ain't got no use for the man. He is not Crimson Tide blue and through. He pretty much told him to stick it. I don't get it my way. He pouted like a child and wanted to hold out for some more money. And that's the truth. And that's the news. And you heard it here first when it happened. And that's what happened. That's what happened. And I hate it happened that way.
I hated it too.
I hated the way it happened that way. He is the voice of Tide.
He is.
But who the crap is in 2024 is turning their dang TVs off and going in the car and listening to the game?
No.
Who?
Not many.
You got a radio in your house?
Yeah, but
no.
I ain't never listened to a game in there. I got an old boombox.
Well, nobody's got a
come over this year and we'll listen to it.
We're not going to turn on Eli Gold and put the TV on mute. No, I've heard people joking.
I've heard of people doing that just because they like his voice.
Yeah, and that's just kind of, I don't know.
But the narrative was that
strange to me.
He'd lost it. He wasn't good anymore, and they didn't want him. That was not true.
No. His health, golly, guys, he just beat cancer. And they paid him through the whole thing and paid his medical stuff.
And they knew that he was a little off, but they were going to give him time to work it out.
Yeah, they want him to come back. Yeah. And keep doing the home games. We're not letting you go. I want to do road games too. Well, Eli, we've got this, what's his name, that's been here.
Chris Stewart, yeah.
Stewart. Well, I don't care what you do with him. I want my money. I want to do all the games. I want $2 million, not $1 million. Well, Eli, we like him. He's done a good job. You've been sick and you are old. I mean, how long?
He did fill in for you.
How long are you going to really want to do this?
Yeah.
So we're going to just totally invest back in you, and in 3 years you're done.
Yeah. It's already 71.
Well, DeBoer, he's an idiot. He's jerked Eli Gold or what? Now DeBoer's part of it. He don't even care who the guy is.
Out with the old, in with the new.
What does DeBoer have to do with him? There was people I read on Twitter blaming
DeBoer.
I
heard he did it.
Yeah, like he really cares who's calling the game.
Nah, I don't want to fool with none of that. None of that Nick Saban, none of the old stuff.
Get Eli Gold done. First thing the business is get Eli Gold out.
I did hear that.
I know, and that's how totally silly.
I actually had somebody send me a text. I said, "What's going on with Eli Gold?" And this was her response. Things change, so they're just changing everything. And I'm like, that can't be what's going on here.
It was coincidental. It was. and one of the board's assistants addressed it in a podcast that I watched, and he said, no, he's trying to get players and win championships.
That'd be like going over to Spring Garden going, I'm here to be the new girls coach, and things are going to change around here.
Yeah, Rat's not staying hanging around. Of course not.
We're going to do things a little different.
Yeah, we're going to start
go on to the house.
Going to lose now. No winning anymore. The culture's changing.
They said a guy did that in Nebraska. I'm serious. I know. I told him. He said he did. He come in. He said, we're going to make some changes around here.
Well, that was
what?
But his assistant said that was not true. DeBoer is recruiting players. He leaves those decisions up to administration. And in passing conversation, it has come across the table as we're sitting around having some water, between a break and a workout, and he's at the gym or he's on the road recruiting players.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hate he had to go. Seemed like a nice guy. What a great voice for Alabama. Well, that's it. All right, I got a phone call. I'm trying to recruit this kid here.
They're not sitting there eating shrimp and going, you know what, guys, I don't want to go.
Darn, man, we got to get him going. Nobody cares. Stop making a big deal about it. And it's not what it was. He acted like a brat. He wanted to hold out for more money. And I hope he's happy. I hope he moves on and does great things.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's about it for
Let's go grab a bite.
2:33. We'll have some smorgasbord dressing. How about that?
233.
2:34 next week. Hey, next week we get into May. Practice football around. we'll be putting on some stuff here. I mean, so
Yeah, there'll be some spring.
it's football time.
Some places.
Yeah.
Some are not.
I've seen a lot of
Some are.
southern schools that's practice Tuesday, a week from this Tuesday.
Chattooga starts Thursday.
Thursday, yes.
They got a ball game. Probably 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. And
Or I might be on a Thursday.
I think in June, I know some guys are in here in Tree County. I think they're supposed to have like a camp.
I knew they were having some camps. I think
we'll go over there one day.
Yeah.
We usually try to go see them.
Maybe having a Chattooga, maybe having a padded camp. Now, they don't get out there and kill each other like the longest yard, but there's some hitting goes on. And maybe, I don't know the extent of it, but it's different.
We're excited for football, guys. Next week, the draft's over. The NBA's finals will be coming more into shape next week. We'll mention some of those scores and run through them, but we're going to start doing college football schedule. We're going to start looking at some teams. Where are they at? Who has a shot at making this 12-team playoff is coming. A lot of teams are changing. There's no East and West in the SEC. They're just going to take the best 2. How good's Missouri? Can Ole Miss go undefeated? Look at their schedule. Is Billy the Kid, will he even make it through the year? With Nick Saban gone to Alabama, the first time you see DeBoer going to be on the sideline since, 2007, 8?
Six. Yeah, 7.
2007 since see a new face on the sidelines. Coach Kelly, they got a good team, had a Heisman winning quarterback last year. Let's not forget that. And Tennessee got a slinger for our quarterback. Squirrel's still hanging around. They will travel to Oklahoma this year. Coach Hop will be going back home for a game. That's going to be fun to talk about.
Big game. Oklahoma's got a tough schedule.
South Carolina, Spencer Rattler, got picked up in the draft.
Wow, I did not expect that.
I think he went to the Saints. Pretty sure. So South Carolina, where are they going to land at? Now we got 2 new teams. Oklahoma, Texas is part of the SEC now, and as the Undertaker said, go Horns and go SEC. It's kind of weird seeing him because he's a Texas fan. Because he lives
Texas fans.
He lives out there. It's where he grew up. He played basketball around out there, like at Texas State So, guys, we've got a long summer coming. We've got a lot of football to talk about, and also, I mean, other teams who don't want to. I mean, we need to talk about Ohio State. Michigan. I watched their
Oregon,
spring game. We're going to kick around that. Bo Nix is gone from Oregon. They have
Gabriel.
From Oklahoma. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, Clemson. We got to talk about Clemson.
Yes, Klubnik. See how they're going to do. Miami's going to make a run for the ACC. Florida State and Clemson are leaving the ACC by 26. And, yes, I didn't do this. If I can get it in, whoever's watching, this is the surprise news for you guys that are still watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. 6-year extension for ESPN has been covered for college football playoffs to 2031. ESPN sealed the deal just the other day.
Good deal. So
you will have college football playoffs will be on ESPN until 2031. But don't be surprised if you some of these games start getting over into Netflix, and because Raw is already doing it. Wrestling, they bought Netflix bought Monday Night Raw.
I know.
$7 billion. I
don't like it.
That's just different, man. We're living how you watch this show. Used to, you had to go to Channel 13 and watch Birmingham news at 6:00. Remember?
Yeah.
Shut up, be quiet, Todd. I'm trying to watch the news at 6:00. Yeah. We want to watch Pam
Huff.
Now
it just comes on all day.
Like Pam Huff. Listen, Pam's on. Now she's retiring. God bless her. You've seen her. She's full white-headed.
Yes, I have. She's been on there since I was in high school.
I know, man. So this, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Peacock, Netflix, this is how you watch stuff. And you cannot watch us now, and you may be watching us Wednesday. Maybe it's May the 1st. And right now you're turning the show on. You're running across on YouTube and you go, Reggie Bush. I see what them jack wagons are talking about.
Yeah. Who?
Huh?
Shaw.
I don't know. Some Matt Shaw. What some guys did. So, Zach, thank you for coming on ESPN. They are losers, Zach. And please don't go to ESPN. Man, those guys are taking advantage of children. They own everything. Get your sports news here. We have fun. We break it down. And we're just going to give you good, honest opinions, and we don't have to do politics and all that stuff. I try not to bring that in. That's why I opened up my own channel to do my own thing. And Dean's gonna come over there with me. We're gonna get him over there. We're gonna talk politics.
Oh gosh. I just know they're protesting on campuses. I don't get it.
I know.
I think they pretty much knocked some of them in the head. Did you? This last thing I'll say. Did you see the one video where the guy arrested the girl and he just picked her up and was dragging her and she's screaming?
That was a guy.
Oh, that was a guy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He just picked him up. He was screaming, "He's hurting me! He's hurting me!"
Yeah.
He falls down. He picked him up, just towed him off.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I thought it was a girl. I'm sorry.
Well, that's the kind of world we live in now.
I did. I was 100% sure.
What up? Good to see you on here, Woodall. We congratulate again on all the baseball teams. I know some of them fell short, but hey, had a good season, and good luck this week to our local softball.
Yes, sir.
City Bluff Spring Garden will face off Tuesday, and your Warrior girls will play tomorrow at 3. And Sandrock girls, I think they play tomorrow evening too. So they're playing in their region, area, championship. Sandrock girls, Caitlin St. Clair finishing up her last year.
Good player.
Yep, great everything, volleyball and basketball. So good luck to Sandrock.
900 kills. She had more than no guy in American. Was it sniper?
Dodgeball.
Sniper.
I'll say dodge a wrenching, dodge a ball.
900 kills. Come on.
Center girls play tomorrow, and then somebody's got to take a loss. Spring Garden, City Bluff, they're going to fight for area.
Yeah.
Good luck to both teams. Just hope nobody, just have a good, safe game.
Yeah.
Y'all keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. Remind me of the 60s. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it live right here. Come back next Sunday night, 6 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel.
Yes, sir.
Right here. College football, fastest growing darn sports show going anywhere. Big Mac Diamond is out.
Y'all have a good week.